everyone. Our third talk for today is with Chris Hedges on the chasing of dreams, my life as a woodworker and educator. Over the course of his career, Chris has shipped pieces worldwide, won numerous awards reflecting his attention to excellence in design, and has served as a contributing editor for Woodcraft magazine. Originally from Circleville, Ohio, Hedges graduated from the University of Rio Grande Fine Woodworking program and has his MA in sociology and BA in philosophy from Ohio University. He's currently the program manager and head instructor for the newly created Cabinetmaking and Architectural Millwork program at Hocking College, a program for which he designed and received accreditation from the Higher Learning Commission and the Ohio Department of Education. Chris, the floor is yours.
Thank you, much appreciated. Oh, I can't give away my punchline just yet. So, Adria asked me to do this WED talk, and of course, the first thing I did was get on the internet and find out exactly what it is I was going to be doing. And the first person I see is Norm Abram. Thought, really, I got to follow in the footsteps of this guy? But here I am. So the product of that sort of, oh God, I got to follow Norm, was this really fancy title on the Chasing of Dreams, My Life as a Woodworker and Educator. It's not really a story about me. It's a story about the people that I've worked with over the course of my career that have helped me get to where I'm at today. And it all kind of started here with my daughter. She's 18 years old, and I grew up in a house full of antiques, and I sort of developed this appreciation for things made by hand. And I also developed a very real talent at taking things apart. I just couldn't put it back together. About a year before my daughter was born, so in about 2004, I decided I needed to leave a legacy. Because it's important. Everybody wants to leave something behind them that means something. And for me, that was making a piece of furniture. So you may have noticed in my introduction that I've got a master's degree in sociology, and you might be thinking, well, what the hell is this? What the hell does that have to do with woodworking? Well, for a very short period of time, I was teaching sociology classes, and I often found myself calling the school to say, gosh, I'm sick. I don't really think I can come teach today. It was all because I was building her a dresser. It was the first piece of furniture I ever made. And I did it for hours and hours and hours and days on end, and I never got tired of it. So I thought, maybe there's something to this. So I gave up teaching sociology, and I went back to school for cabinet making and woodworking. In fact, I've got a history with the fresh wood competition over here. I built that thing in 2007. So from the first piece of furniture I built to the fourth piece of furniture I built, I think I'd made some progress. The first piece I built for my daughter with this dresser that got it all started was so bad that the dovetails were backwards. And you know the basics of dovetails, like it's a wedge, it works on a wedge principle. And if you do it the other way, there's no wedge. So I don't know how long it's gonna last. But I brought this here in 2007, and it really was kind of the springboard for my career. I didn't ever want to be a manufacturer. I didn't want to run a huge cabinet shop. I just wanted to forge ahead myself, and that meant I wanted to make furniture that I designed. I wanted to make it on my own terms. I wanted to teach, and one day I want to have my own furniture line. Fortunately, I've managed to pull off two of those three things. I had a successful career as a cabinet maker and furniture maker. My business name was AWFS, named after my daughter. There was a period of time when she actually enjoyed working with me in the shop, but nowadays not so much. So, over the course of my career running AWFS, I shipped pieces worldwide. I wrote articles for magazines. I taught my own little seminars. I continued to teach sociology classes. But what I did mostly was learn and create connections. And that's really where the story takes off, is with those connections. This is kind of where my story with AWFS ended. AWFS isn't over. It's not dead, but I'm transitioning. This piece went into a collection that has pieces by Sam Maloof in it. I feel pretty validated for that. We all have dreams that we like to chase and things that we like to do. and there's no reason we can't do them. So as I was developing my own cabinet company, making sure it survived, I was fortunate enough to come into contact with a group of people from ACENet, which is Appalachian Center for Economic Networks. It's an excellent group of people that, whom without, I wouldn't be standing here today. I come from Athens, Ohio, or we live in Athens, Ohio. It's the poorest county in the state of Ohio. There's no industry except for a college and a hospital. And if you don't work at one of those, it's a hard scrabble way of life. So ACENet approached me somewhere in the vicinity of 2013 or 14 and said that they were thinking about dabbling in wood manufacturing. What could they do to help the local woodworking community grow? How could they be helpful for entrepreneurs? How could they be helpful with companies? What resources could they provide to help them succeed? So after about 6 months of negotiation, we decided that what would be most beneficial to the most number of people was to create a shared woodworking space. Now you might equate that to something like a makerspace, right? You know what a makerspace is. Somebody comes in on the weekend and they want to make a little thing, they do it, they pay a monthly membership fee, so on and so forth. Well, think of this more like some place that somebody who wants to start a business can use as a springboard and not invest a whole lot of capital into what is essentially a hard way to go. So ACENet provided me with 2,000 square feet of shop space and a core set of machines that I could use to increase my production. And the first thing I got was a sander. My rotator cuffs are shot. I can't do it anymore. So after probably 2 years at ACENet, my connections started to grow a little bit more, and I was approached by a local technical college. They had seen what I had done with ACENet. I had shown that it was possible to have a successful cabinet shop, as small as it was. I was only ever one person. I wasn't 2, 3, 20, or 40 people. But I did provide a foundation for them to see that it was possible to have a successful wood manufacturing center in Athens, Ohio. So I was approached by the local technical college, and they said, hey, we've been thinking about offering courses in cabinet making. What can we do? Oh, here, let me tell you this real quick. So this is just a shot of the space. This is me working way back here in the fuzzy background. And I'm sorry, the focus of the picture is on a power feeder, right? But this just gives you an idea of what I had available to me to grow my business. I had support staff to help me with business plans, with website development, all I really had to do was focus on the making. So anyways, Hocking College. Hocking College is in Nelsonville, Ohio, and it's about 2,500 students on a good day. But the great thing about Hocking College is they're willing to take risks. And they had seen that in the state of Ohio, and particularly in the region, the Appalachian region, which would be sort of the southern to the eastern part of the state of Ohio, there was this huge amount of hardwoods being shipped out of the region with no value added to it. So the trees are cut, they're stripped off the land, and nobody benefits from it except for the company that's bought it and cut it and taken it away, right? So the college thought, hey, we've got all these resources. We've got the lumber, we've got cabinet makers, we're really close to this city. Let's try it out. So they said, do us a favor and write us a woodworking curriculum. I was like, sure, I'll get right on that. I can do it in my sleep. It's the first time I've ever done it. It was really an invigorating project. It was a validating thing to do, to be able to take my experience from 17 years of running my own cabinet shop and use that knowledge to address a very specific problem. And here is the problem, and I think you guys are probably familiar with this problem. You can read it all. You can read all of this, but here's the important line right here. According to many industry observers, one of the ongoing factors preventing growth in both regional and national markets is the absence of a trained workforce. That's not new, right? Everybody's been hearing that for decades. Past models of employment, apprenticeships in this sector have typically involved shifting the financial responsibility of teaching the foundational skills to the employer. However, in the face of razor-thin margins and a shifting hard and softwood futures, manufacturers are unable to allocate monies to teaching both specific manufacturing processes and foundational conceptual and technical skills. And this is where Hocking College comes in. The first question I had to ask myself was, what can I teach these people? What set of skills can I give them so that when they go out into the job market, they're ready to work? Because I'll be honest, the first thing I did, I thought I was hot shit. The first thing I did after building that was see if I could go get a job. It's like, here's my portfolio. You are way too overqualified. I was like, what? I've never had a job in the woodworking industry. I have no experience doing this. What they wanted to see and what they still want to see is a basic set of foundational technical skills that they can build upon. So when a manufacturer, all of these companies out here, when they come to hiring, they're going to teach a student how to do it their way. Whatever product they're producing, that's what that person is going to learn, right? But if they don't have the basics, if they can't think in 3D spatial reasoning, if they don't understand what a mortise and tenon is, if they don't understand how a dovetail works or the proper way to put on a finish, they're not ever going to be a productive employee. So, can you see that okay? I know it's kind of small up there, but this is what I developed, 2 years. So I went from being a bright-eyed student over there to writing my own curriculum based on the idea that if we can teach students foundational skills that are not only related to the manual component of woodworking, but to the conceptual side of woodworking, we're going to have a better set of possible employees in the future. So it's a 2-year program. This is the first year. This is the second year. And in between, they've got a 3-month sawmill operations seminar. So for almost 18 months, they're going to be fully immersed in woodworking education. Now, one of the things that Hocking College is known for is its Division of Natural Resources, or its Natural Resources program. So this model is built on the concept of what I've called forest to furniture. A student can come to Hocking College and they can learn everything from how the tree lives when it's standing to how to turn it into a piece of furniture. And that's, I think one of the reasons why I have been successful is because I understand that furniture making, not on the production corporate gigantic level, is about knowing what the thing that you're working with. So a student can come to Hocking College and take 2 years in tree care and timber management. They can learn how to cut those trees down. They can learn which make good furniture boards, which are junk, and then they can come learn how to turn it into furniture. All in one place. And in those 4 years, my program is only 2 years, but in those 4 years, they can come out with less debt than what they could in a traditional 4-year program and be ready to be hired. So, the idea that we have to educate our future employees is important. If you own a cabinet shop, if you have ever thought about hiring anybody, you've probably thought, how the hell am I going to teach these people? How am I going to train them? How am I going to know that they're qualified to actually work for me? I've been afforded the opportunity to give you people that will be. And it's been a collaboration. It's not been something I've done on my own, and I may never follow in the footsteps of Norm Abram, but I've worked with the right people to create a program to educate our future. And hopefully it works out. That's it. Any questions? Any comments? Well, starting August 16th, that'll be the first day of class for the first cohort, and I currently have 5 students enrolled. And every single one of them has received a $5,000 scholarship to get through the program. That $5,000 will buy their toolkits and some of their project wood. So we've got a cohort ready to go. The program itself has had $2.5 million put into it. A fully functioning cabinet shop, 2,000 square feet. We'll have a fully operational sawmill, including a kiln. We've got a plethora of logging equipment that we've purchased that the college has got 500 acres that we can pull hardwood off of. So, I mean, these kids are going to be doing everything. And really one of the benefits of ACENET on the support level is that they're prepared. If a student finishes 2 years at Hocking College and they have the drive and they have a business plan, ACENET is prepared to help them turn that into reality by giving them that space to do it. They'll put them in touch with financing sources, they'll put them in touch with marketing opportunities. So it's a pretty solid opportunity for people to grow, to chase their own dreams. I mean, you know, whether you're 18 and have just done your first fresh wood thing, or 65 and have just decided you wanted to make something, we have the opportunity to do that, to create jobs, to create people who appreciate a different way of thinking. So yeah, it's a pretty exciting chance. Yeah. It's a tough, that's a tough question. I think for sure right now, because of all the bureaucracy I've put up in the past year, I would say without a doubt, I would rather be in my shop working 60 hours a week, constantly on a deadline, as opposed to dealing with the bureaucracy of teaching. But I think if you were to ask me that in 3 weeks when I have students in front of me, it'll be a totally different answer. Because as soon as I see that light bulb click, that'll make it all worth it. It always, even teaching sociology, which was not at all the same thing, you could see that click in students. And no matter how much work it took, once you saw that, it made everything worth it. So ask me again in 3 weeks and I might give you a different answer, but all right, thank you.